for scam, we dey beside you. The mayor of housing, now we dey here. We go make sure, say you go check. Invest today, don't look tomorrow. The future dey bright, no need to borrow. If you want, we make you follow. The mayor of housing, now we be follow, come. We don't dey sell house, we dey sell value. If you want invest, we go show you. Your money go grow, it no go loss. So come make we talk, no time to dollar. The mayor of housing there for you.
We're live and you're welcome to today's live. How many people are with us? Please, if you're live, make sure you like and make sure you share with somebody. If you've liked and shared, just type like and share so that we can have enough people live. Okay, today I want to make sure that our time is utilized very well because usually due to maybe power or something, we don't start by 6, but today is 6 and we're starting. We have a topic that was chosen last week, but we're not going to attend to that topic because I was invited as a keynote speaker yesterday in a very important event, and the topic they gave to me, for want of time, I want to repeat that topic 3 times. I did it yesterday. We are going to handle the topic today, and then we're going to do the recap, of course. So 3 times, so that I'm sure I've done justice to this topic, because this topic is so important that, take note, this is not in my slides. Your first $100,000 depends on your skill. Your first $1 million depends on your business. Your first $100 million depends on your leadership. But your first $1 billion depends on your brand. So if you are not able to build a brand, you are not able to build a $1 billion business. So for those of you that really want to dominate the markets and go far, this topic is very important for you. But before we start, I want you to like and share. And let's have other people join us. We are 77 people. You can like and share until we are 100. That would be amazing. Today, I'm very excited to teach you one of my secrets, because this is one of the secrets that has made this brand the fastest rising brand in real estate in Africa. And today's presentation is called Sustaining a Brand. The next 30 minutes, I'm going to do the more justice I can to do to it. But during the recap, I'm going to cool down and give you a cool, calm, calculated, deeper insight into this topic. So let's go. Before we start, why should you pay me with your attention? Attention is money. Why should you be here to pay me your attention of the next 30 minutes? Especially on this topic, I am the mayor of housing. I've won the Dimoma Brand of the Year in Port Harcourt for 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. I've won the Peace Legends Award for the top 100 brands in Africa. And I was the top 1 in the real estate sector. The top 100 brands in Africa in all sectors. The mayor of housing was one of them. And then the most important reason why you should pay me attention, ask Google who is the mayor of housing. And if you like what Google tells you, you can pay me your attention. If you don't like what Google tells you, you can keep your attention to yourself. Because attention is money, and one of the latest money, and it is a currency, but focus is how you invest it. So if you are going to pay me your attention, you need to invest it so you don't just pay it. Difference between paying and investment is ROI. So if you focus in the next 30 minutes, you get enough ROI that might change your life. Attention is money because money is not pounds, dollars, or naira. Money is an idea. Money is trust. Money is integrity. Money is value. Money is service. Money is solutions. And the oldest money is knowledge. The biggest money is skill. The highest currency is relationship. While the latest money, the latest kid on the block is attention. So if you can't get attention in this 21st century, you can't get money. I hope with that little introduction, I've been able to get your attention to now tell you what is a brand. Before we see what a brand is, let us know what a brand is not. A brand is not a logo, even though I have a beautiful logo that is very symbolic. The Mayor of Housing logo is a golden roof. I'll be writing a book very soon. That will be the book, my first book, that will show you why the roof of this logo is golden. If you have a house without money, you don't have a golden roof. The pillars of the house and the name are in purple. Purple is royalty. And the greatest royalty is loyalty. And what builds loyalty is trust. So I have a golden roof sustained by the pillars of trust. But this is not the brand. Brand is not just products or services. Like I sell houses. Brand is the meaning behind the whole business. Brand is not a one-time promise. It's a sustained perception over time, not a single advert or slogan. It's what people believe I am. It was so important that Jesus had to ask his disciples, who do people say I am? So with all that, let's look at some definitions of branding. I'm going to give us 3 definitions. One that is psychological and perceptual. A brand is what lives in the minds of people. The sum of all the thoughts, feeling, association, and expectation that come up when they hear your name. When people hear your name, how do they feel? What do they expect? What do they associate your name with? All that is called branding. Number 2, identity and reputation system. A brand is a set of tangible and intangible attributes like name, design, values, reputation that identifies and differentiates your offering from others. What makes the Mayor of Housing different? What makes you different from others? That's your brand. Not what makes your logo different, but what makes your business as a human being different from other businesses. Apple is not just different because of the Apple logo. There's something about Apple that makes it different. Number 3 definition is the definition that anchors on experience and emotional memory. A brand is a cumulative emotional and experiential journey people have with you or your product more than your visuals and promises. It's a journey, it's an experience. And it's one that is memorable. So from all this definition, a brand is emotional, a brand is strategic, a brand is an experience. So I can give you a brand formula that says emotions plus symbols plus meaning plus identity equals a brand. The emotions you evoke, the symbols that represent you, the meaning people associate with you, and the identity that differentiates you from others is your brand. So branding is an experience, not a logo. And simply put, all this English I've been speaking, how you do what you do is your brand. Your how that is different from everybody's how is your brand. So now we know that what a brand is. How do you now build a brand? I'm going to give us 5 steps to building a brand. Number 1, this is so important that I see a lot of companies just get core values that don't matter to them. My core values are so important to me that breaking my core values is like breaking me. So the first step in creating a brand is define your core values and identity. What are your core? Who are you? There are things people say, and I tell them that's not the mayor of housing. That's not how we do things. So define your core values and identity. Clarify who you are, what you stand for, and what you promise. Define your why. There's a book written by Simon Sinek called Starting with Why. And Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the 21st century philosophers and sages, said, when you have a strong enough why, you can bear anyhow. So when your business and your logo has a why, the brand can stand all the time. So your why is your brand backbone. Why is your brand different? Why is your brand in business? Some of the core values, for instance, for my brand: integrity, trust, excellence, value for client, long-term relationships. There's a core value that most companies don't have that I have, and that is fun. In fact, the one product I sell is not housing, it's not customer satisfaction. The one product I sell is customer delight, and it's captured in one word: wow. Our brand promise is wow. We must do something that will make you go wow. If you don't go wow for our houses, you go how? Wow for our design, or you go wow for the hamper we give to you, or you go wow for my YouTube channel, or you go wow. Something about us must make you shout wow. And that's so important. That is a brand promise. So it's a core value to us that, and another core value to us that most companies don't have is fun. When you do business with us, we want you to have fun. And fun for us is not just shouting, "Eh, lele pimpi," even though we love "Eh, lele pimpi," especially when you shout, "Eh, lele ti, eh, lele." Fun for us is an acronym for freedom to be unified with your natural self. Freedom to be unified with your natural self. So we don't want you to be another person because you are doing business with us. If you're a funny person, we want you to be funny. If you're a serious person, we want you to be serious. If you're a village champion, we want you to be yourself when you are with us. So fun is a core value for us. Step 2, after you discover your core value and your core identity, step 2 is craft your symbolic markers. This is now where the name, voice, logo, visual identity will come into place. Naming is the most important part of branding. Africans used to understand the significance of names. That they never used to give children names that didn't evoke either an expectation or an experience. When parents experience a miracle before your birth, they'll name you Miracle. If they're expecting a miracle, they might name you Miracle in expectation. So what do you want people to think about when they call your name? Like my name, the mayor of housing. I wanted people to think about dominion or dominance and leadership and authority when they think of me. I didn't just want to be another real estate developer. I wanted to be the leading, organizing, responsible, and the orchestrating real estate brand. And that's why the mayor of housing came about. Visual identity, what colors? I told you why we use purple for royalty and gold for money. What kind of style? What kind of fonts? And it must emotionally align with your values. First of all, it must align with your emotions and what you want to transmit. What's your style, your voice and tone? Like, our voice is that of energy and fun. It's like the personality of the brand. But all these are not the brand. They are still signposts, but they are very important. Step number 3, deliver consistent experience across all touch points. The essence of branding is memory. If you are writing, write this down. If customers don't think of you when they think of your business or product or the solution you are offering, you don't have a brand. The idea of branding, for instance, for the mayor of housing is whenever you think about land, real estate, development, construction, housing, collaboration, you think of the mayor of housing. Whenever you think of leadership, rising brand, authority, brain, innovation, marketing in real estate, you think of the mayor of housing. So whenever people don't think about you, when they think about your product, you don't have a brand. So the idea is deliver consistent experience that they can remember across all your touch points. Your touch point is your social media, your adverts, your presentation, your products, your caps, your shirts, your pocket square. Everything about you must deliver consistent to what you stand for. So from the first contact to after your sales, everything must reflect your brand values. And your ability to do it consistently is the brand. If you do it inconsistently, it's not your brand. If you do it consistently, it's your brand. So how you service customers, how you message them, how you package your quality, your testimonials and your style of follow-up, all of them must be autographed with the signature that your brand stands for. Like everything about the mayor of housing is autographed with excellence. Even when we are shouting, "Hey, lele pimpi," we are shouting it with excellence. Everything about the mayor of housing has to do with trust. Everything about the mayor of housing has to do with profit. That's why we have a golden roof of money. My calling is to make people money and make people happy in real estate. If you are investing, it will make you money. If you are looking for a home, we'll get you a location, a design, an environment, and features that will make you happy. If you are not looking for investment or a home in real estate, you are not our customer. So we make people happy and make them money in real estate. Step number 4, evoke emotional and symbolic value beyond utility. What you sell to people beyond what you sell is your brand. We sell houses, but the major thing we sell is happiness and money. If you buy a plot of land for 5 million with us and it's now 70 million, we've sold you money. If you buy a location that it's so eco-friendly, so comfortable, so inspiring, so healthy, so unpolluted, that it inspires your family happiness, we've sold you happiness. So beyond houses, we're only spreading happiness, because even those that get money, the real thing is happiness. So evoke a particular emotion or set of emotions that will generate meaning, utility, identity, trust, and not just product features, because people often buy meaning, trust, and emotions, not products. And then make sure your brand fits into your ideal customer's identity, aspiration, and lifestyle. If you are selling to the rich, make sure your brand represents what the rich want, not what you want. So you must, like there is a particular feature in real estate that we don't play with, and that's confidentiality. The rich people like confidentiality, and we don't play with it. So look for something that your customers really love, that your brand represents, and don't ever compromise it, because if you compromise, you miss the last step of building a brand, which is how to protect your brand. Step 5, protect reputation and deliver on promises. And this is your brand currency. Remember, a brand is how you do what you do. If your how is not consistent all the time, you don't have a how. When people say, how does he do business? They say, oh, he doesn't compromise. Oh, he's always reliable. Oh, top notch. Oh, go to bed and sleep. Then you are protecting the reputation. I've seen a lot of brands build reputation and allow it to collapse. So if you fail to deliver on your brand promises, you devalue your brand. And every touch point is a brand audit. Ordinary t-shirt you make, ordinary poster. There are some posters my graphic people make. I tell them this is not the Mayor of Housing standard. Videos, giveaway, every part of what we do must carry the signature of the brand. Why? If you don't make yourself a premium brand, the world will make you a cheap brand. The world is out to dilute what you do. So if you don't deliberately audit your brand to represent premium, the world will dilute it for you. And one of the greatest powers or touch point is your personal exchange rate. What's your personal exchange rate? And that is the essence of all this branding. Is the extra money people will pay for a product or service just because your name is on it. Like this bottle, it has Alliance Global. This Alliance Emotion Global. If this name is removed and my H China, maybe this bottle is 1,000, and this name is removed and my H China is written on it, will the bottle be sold for 2,000? That extra 1,000 is the Mayor of Housing personal exchange rate. But if the name is clean that you put Gucci, it might go from 1,000 to 10,000. It means Gucci has 9,000 extra personal exchange rate. And the essence of branding is to build that, because the only thing more valuable to me than my brand is my personal currency exchange rate. The more people are willing to pay for a product because it is your name. Imagine there are two shops next to each other, two products exactly the same quality, and one bears the Mayor of Housing, one bears Adugo Developers, and this one is being sold for 10 million, this one is being sold for 1 million, and people leave the 1 million and buy the 10 million. It means this brand has built a high personal exchange rate that people are willing to pay more. So with that, that's how to build a brand. But brand has got just two pillars. If you remember these two things, you finish everything about branding. So let's look at the two pillars of branding. Pillar number 1, perception. Perception is defined as how people see you, what people believe about you or imagine your brand, the mental image people make of your brand. How do people see you? Perception is shaped by communication and messaging, what you say, visual and identity and branding cues, social proof, very important, reputation, and prior experience, which is the greatest. When people experience you, what perception do they have? Perception influences behavior. What people expect, how people see you, how people trust you will determine how they are willing to pay you. And we live in the age of perception where perception is stronger than reality. If people see you as a good person, how people see you in this internet age is more important than how you are. But how you are is what will sustain that perception and turn it from attention to reputation. We live in a social media age where even people, men that dress like a woman, men that are transgender, create attention. But it's the reality of what those people really are that creates their reputation. So perception wins attention, reality wins reputation. And remember, attention is money. Reputation is the asset that keeps that attention. So perception is very important. Remember, attention is money. Remember the quote I told you the last time that the latest money is attention. So perception is one of the pillars. Make sure the perception of your brand, especially the first impression. Your first impression is 90% of your brand. What people think the first time they see your brand is 90% of the perception. If it is weak, you have failed 90 over 100. If it is strong, you have won 90 over 100. The other 10 will determine whether you get 0 or not. And that 10 is the second pillar called brand experience. Brand experience is defined as what people feel, live, sense, experience when they interact with your brand, your product, your service, your support, your results. How they actually encounter your reality. How they perceive your image is perception, or how they imagine you to be is perception. How they now actually see you to be, experience you to be is experience. So every touch point from first impression to after service becomes part of your brand experience. I see a lot of contradiction in branding the 21st century that has created a new slogan in branding deception called what you ordered versus what you got. If what you ordered is better than what you got, you've killed your brand. Let what they get always be better than what they ordered. You've built a brand. So a strong brand experience builds loyalty, repeat business, referrals, and long-term equity. Once your customers don't return, they didn't have a good experience. Once they return, they had a good experience. Once they return and don't bring their friends, they didn't have a better than good experience. Once they return and bring their friends, they had a better than good experience, and that's the target. So your brand perception is your customer attraction. Your brand experience is your customer retention. If you don't have a good brand perception, you won't get any customer. If you don't have a good brand experience, you won't keep any customer. And that's what kills businesses. And the greatest brand is not what you say you are. The greatest brand is what people say you are. That's why even Jesus, after he has built his brand, asks his disciples, who do people say I am? And when Simon Peter answered according to his brand values, Jesus now knew this is the core of my brand and said, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. Upon you, Peter, I'll build my brand, and the gate of hell shall not prevail against this brand. And that brand is still powering till today. So what they say is more important than what you say. And the logo is just a reminder. Experience is what they will remember. So give them an experience that when they see your logo, they'll remember the experience and relieve the goosebumps that you gave them. And in branding, if they can't feel you, they won't pay you. One of the greatest quotes that made Apple one of the greatest brands in the world, and the man Steve Jobs one of the greatest marketers of the 21st century, has a quote that those crazy enough to believe they can change the world are those that usually do. Those that are crazy enough to think they can change the world with this small device are those that usually do. So Apple became a representation for disruption, those that can change the world. So after you build your brand, you can now talk about sustaining your brand. I'm going to give you 5 ways to sustain a brand. Since I gave you 5 ways to build a brand. And the 5 ways to sustain a brand is number 1. This is where the rubber meets the road. Your brand experience must surpass your brand perception. Perception opens the door, but experience is the house. If you have a door that leads to nowhere, or you have a beautiful door and the house is smelly, golden door, people come and open, enter smelly house, they take off again, your brand will not be sustained. Consistency and excellence are your greatest long-term brand equity. I'm going to speed this up because 30 minutes has gone. I'll round off in the next 5 minutes. For your brand to be sustained, your brand experience must surpass your brand perception. Number 2, give them something emotional to remember, not something physical to remember. Don't design a beautiful logo they will remember. Design a beautiful experience they will remember. One of the greatest experience is customer delight. Once you can delight a customer, Jesus Christ, they will not only remember you, they will come back and bring their friends. And it's anchored on if you remember this, my whole teaching is complete. Maya Angelou gave one of the greatest branding quotes in the world. She said, I've learned that people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did. They'll forget how you sold to them. They'll forget your logo. They'll forget your company slogans. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So a brand is simply how you make your customers feel. So emotions that build loyalty, advocacy, word of mouth, repeat business are emotions that delight your customer. Number 3, deliver value through your personal exchange rate. Make sure that your value is so valuable that people are willing to pay extra for you. And one of the greatest rocks, I deliberately put this rock under that supports a brand that people are willing to pay more for, is trust. People will pay 100,000 naira for a product they trust than to pay 5,000 for one they are not sure. The thing shocked me one time. I discovered this serendipitously. In 2010, my mom wanted to buy a special Mercedes car, and we went to Cotonou to buy that car. That car in Nigeria was 15 million naira. But we bought it in Cotonou for around 5 million. Bringing it down, everything cost about 7 million. And I asked, why will somebody not go to Cotonou and buy a car for 7 million and go and buy it for 15 million? A man now told me, I'd rather buy a car at the car stand I'm seeing for 15 million than to go and buy the one for 7 million and it doesn't reach Nigeria from Cotonou. So the more people can trust you, the more premium price. And this compounds in your brand, because not just what you do, other things you do, people can pay extra because your name is on it. So your name is your currency, your personal exchange rate of trust and excellence. If your name can evoke trust and excellence, then it's a high currency. Number 4, guard against brand decay. When people start believing you, oh my God, protecting that trust and belief is more important than building it. Never allow any shortcut make you tarnish your image, because a reputation once built and lost is so hard to rebuild. So please, maintain your brand. Remember, I told you earlier, if you don't make yourself a premium brand, the world will make of you a cheap brand. And the world is trying to push brands. The Bible says, like a man that built on rock. The rain, the storm will test it, the wind. Always pushing your brand to see if it will stand. So when you build a brand, make sure it stands. And the final thing to make sure it stands, make sure you do a constant brand evaluation, brand evolution, and evaluation is you are checking your brand to see that you are still the brand you say you are. Evolution means that you are going, like, for instance, we're recruiting between March and May next year. If you don't know how to work with AI, you won't work with us. You cannot work with me if you are not evolving. So my brand will always be leading in innovation and marketing. Then relevance. We always make ourselves so relevant in the marketplace and in the real estate sector that you can't mention housing in Africa without mentioning the mayor of housing. So as markets, cultures, and consumer behavior and expectation change, your brand must also evolve, adapt without losing its core value, and that's brand evolution. So you need to consistently be you. And one of the brands that have done this so much is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has remained the same, but the way they relate to different generations has changed. So you must always be in tune with the feeling of the market, because if the market cannot feel you, they will leave you. So when you have a brand and a following, always make them feel you. You feel me? If you guys are not feeling me, you would have leave me. So you make them feel you, or you have made them leave you. Branding makes the heart of your customers pay before their pockets pay. And then always remember this in closing. Brand is more about emotion than logic. Brand is more about trust and consistency and emotional memory than hype or visual guys or logos. A premium brand mindset doesn't cost more than mediocrity. In fact, mediocre brands cost more. Poor experience destroy your trust faster than logos can build it. So I see a lot of people build a wonderful logo, a wonderful advert. Something happened recently that I almost wondered why those people ran that advert. They did an advert I responded to. The way one of their social media assistants attended to me, I blocked their number before their boss from the UK quickly called me with another number to apologize. Because customers don't buy products. They buy the meaning and the emotions your product gives, or your brand. And finally, in saturated markets, the brand experience becomes the only thing that your competitor cannot copy. They can copy your logo, your style, your slogan, but they can't copy how you make people feel. That experience is unique to your brand. But the greatest and the ultimate business and sales maturity, I've taught you before, is called the guilt equity. And what's the guilt equity? The guilt equity is that making the people that don't buy from you feel so guilty for not buying because of how happy you make them. Recently, my press director was asking me why I was investing in youth and investing in making youth happy. And I told him the youth are the future of my business. The rich people in Nigeria are the present of my business. I market to them, I sell to them, I give them hampers. But the youth, you guys are the future. Because in the next 5 to 10 years, you'll be the next billionaires. And I want to treat you and make you so happy that you feel guilty if you don't buy from me. And that's the essence of branding. Finally, if you remember this, you remember this presentation. If your brand can win your customer's heart, then his pockets and the pockets of his friends are yours forever. People don't remember a brand until they remember how the brand makes them feel. And if the feeling is only in their body, it won't last. But if the feeling can penetrate into their heart and soul, they will never forget you. Thank you very much. So let's quickly take our 10 questions. And then today we are not going to choose a topic. The topic that was chosen the last time. Even next Sunday, we are not going to choose a topic. Next Sunday, I'm going to teach us how to live in the right house. Because I see a lot of people begging me for rent. And I discover people don't know how to calculate your house, the kind of house to rent from your income. People mislive. They mislive in houses. Houses have sizes. And I'll teach you next Sunday how to calculate the size of your house with the size of your pocket and how to pay rent without worrying your landlord and worrying people like the mayor. Then upper Sunday, if I'm still available, we can now take that topic we chose the last time. So I don't know how we'll do this thing. Nicholas, do you think you can get better questions today and not the people asking me what are the 2 pillars of branding? So please help us with better questions. Amen. Question number 1. Priscilla, who? Mm-hmm.
What strategies can a business use to sustain its brand relevance and customer loyalty in a highly competitive market?
This shows that you are not watching. Go back to the last 4 slides. That one, a man is doing like this in saturated markets. You don't see this slide. In a saturated market, the man's hand is like this. You've seen that side. Who asked that question? Priscilla, please, this is your answer. This shows you were not in the lecture. And because Nicholas is videoing, him too was not in the lecture. Please, question number 1, leave Priscilla. Let's ask questions that are not what I thought. Please, let's desist from making me repeat the lecture. I just talked about this 5 minutes ago and somebody is asking about it. It shows that you want to turn me to a turntable and you want to put me on repeat. Question number 1, please. You can ask any question concerning your life. It must not be branding. Mm-hmm. Okay. Rabbi, that's a very intelligent question. The biggest challenge I am facing in sustaining my brand, the mayor of housing, is third-party infractions. Third-party infractions is sounding like big English, but it's called third-party interference. When I promise you something, my brand is that I must do that thing. But Rabbi, imagine that I promised you that we are going to start work on my project in December because I was expecting the government to approve our work plan in November. And then we got to November, the government office, they say PAMSEC travel. Commissioner go Isiobomut come. System day down. Sometimes you go to government office, they'll tell you system is down. So one time I even asked them, can I buy you a new system? So all those bureaucratic interference will now make you are not able to deliver. For instance, I have a timeline that I promised my investors will start work. And there's a customer that was supposed to make payment in November. That customer, and it's a major payment that will allow us to start work. That customer shifted the payment not only to January, but spread the payment into 6 payments from January 2026 to January 2027. I now had to quickly start making alternative arrangements. So the challenge in sustaining my brand is to make sure that any third party that is not me that wants to contribute to this brand, I must tell my customers that it's not me that will determine is the third party. So when you ask me, for instance, Mayor, when are you starting at Lesser Highlands? I say, okay, if the government will approve what we are doing by November, we should start in December. But if they don't approve, we'll continue to pursue the approval until we get it. So that chewing my words because a third party disappointed is so challenging if you are somebody like me that always want to keep to your words. When somebody come blow the word can't come out. You go come be like say your word no be sword again. So I also always ensure that before I make any reference that has to do with third party, I explain that you know they my handle. Amen. Question number 2.
Really positive.
Mm-hmm.
In a world where trends change quickly and competition increases daily, what practical step can the brand take to sustain its identity?
The same answer on the screen. Please leave this.
Stay relevant and
They see it. See it. See it here. Experience and trust. Please, question number 2. Sweetie, God pet, your question is not taken. See the answer there. Put that slide there, please. You guys, stop sounding intelligent. Oh boy, I be like say you know go dey pick questions that contains this topic. Look for questions that are not concerning this topic. People are just trying to repeat what I said in smart ways. Thank God I do. One of the greatest thing university did for me was after doing English in secondary school. In first year, they taught us use of English. So I not only sabi English, I sabi how to use them. Amen. So if you want to use English, confuse me, I know use of English. Please, next question. Mm-hmm.
how can one identify when health is becoming a trap or form of control?
What did you say the person's name is?
Could they be faith?
Faith, you are still doing the same thing that these people are doing. Last time I talked about help, I said any help that makes you dependent on the help is already a trap, is a drug, is an addiction, is killing you. And you're asking it smartly so that because I said other topics. I bet question number 2. You are wasting our time, Nicholas. That one is not a question. Look for questions people will learn from. I beg. The idea of these questions is when you pick intel. I'm going to employ a question picker so that these questions people can learn from it. If not, I don't teach all these things in the past. You can go and watch the video. We'll leave the question. The idea of the question section is those things you would have asked me after watching my videos that is not in the video, is not in the teaching. That if we were in a mentorship class, people pay a lot of money for people like me to mentor them. This Sunday Live is your free mentorship class where if you are lucky to be chosen among the top 10, your real life issues questions. I even expect you to write your questions before the next Sunday based on what you are doing. It shows that many of you are not doing anything in life. You are just coming here to sound academic and theoretical. We need questions that will say, oh, I did this, I did that. How do you do this? So that people can learn. Please, let's stop wasting our opportunity. Question number 3. If there's no question, I can ask my question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How can young people use ancient philosophical frameworks to build long-term resilience and avoid burnout?
That's what I thought last 2 weeks. Go and check. That's even what the video we posted yesterday. Let me see. Who asked that question? Huh? Vivian, watch the video. Let me confirm the title of that video. Time is running out. 7 timeless truth you must learn now before life punishes you. Go and watch it again. Next question. Today is like you guys are just asking OP questions, off points. Thank God say I get more sense. So now so now for just they ask me, I for just they answer with it I don't teach before. I no go no say I don't teach them. Uh-huh.
Can peer pressure ever be positive?
Yes, Emmanuel Ekong. That's the essence of the law of association. The last time I talked about the law of association, I said, be friendly with everybody, but only build friendship with the best. Peer pressure is so positive that this man here, I don't know if his name is clear enough, Robert Kiyosaki, is my greatest and my first ever peer pressure. This man here, Napoleon Hill, is my peer pressure. This man here, Stephen Covey, is my positive peer pressure. This man here is my greatest positive peer pressure. I even did a video on him, on how to apply the 10x rule. Grant Cardone. Dan Martell is my positive peer pressure. Alex Hormozi broke a record for the highest number of books sold on the day of launch within 24 hours. Is a positive peer pressure. Dan Martell is the reason I must be ahead of AI deployment in my business in Africa. So the law of association in Manuela Ekong says you are the average of the 5 positive or negative peer pressure or peers you have. If your peers are negative people, they'll put negative peer pressure on you. If your peers are positive people, they'll put positive peer pressure on you. So if you're in school and you're in a circle that reads, you always want to follow them to read. If you're in a circle that does hookup, you swear that you never do hookup. But play. One day, you hook middle first before you go to up. So please, positive peer pressure is the essence why we are doing this channel. I am your positive peer pressure. This is where 20% of Nigerians that are passionate about education more than entertainment will gather on YouTube. The rest of YouTube can be doing their entertainment. We'll be doing our education. Question number 4.
What practical step can help a business sell internationally despite high logistic costs?
The practical step for a business to sell internationally is for the business to sell locally. You see why ancient philosophies are important for modern business. They say charity begins at home. Selling begins at home. For instance, Alessa Highlands is in Port Harcourt. If I don't know how to sell in Port Harcourt, and because the island is so beautiful, the island is going to be like the diaspora in Nigeria. I now want to go and learn how to sell to Nigerian in diaspora. When I don't know the US market, I don't know, I've not been to US. It is how well I sell to the local market that will determine how well I'll sell to the international market. And the Igbo people have an adage that the rat in the house is the one that will tell the rat in the bush where there is crayfish in the house. So if you know fit show your rat for house crayfish, how you want to show the rat for bush? So please, let's stop. The only thing that starts from the top is a grave. Anything you cannot build locally, you cannot build internationally. That's why I tell people that I'm internationally very local. The first place I wanted to dominate, I'm going to dominate the world in housing. But I started with Port Harcourt. This 2026, we are shifting our dominance from Port Harcourt to Niger Delta. That's why if you were watching, last time I was in Uyo. Very soon I'll be in Abia. I'll be in Bayelsa and the rest of the Niger Delta. From Niger Delta, we'll move to dominating Nigeria. As far back as 2021, somebody invited me for a joint venture in real estate in Kigali, Rwanda. I told them, why will I come and start building in Kigali when I've not dominated Nigeria? So it's when I dominate Nigeria, I can now talk of African countries before I now talk of US and Canada and Europe before I now talk about the rest of the world. So please, if you have not, there is no greener pastures. I thought the did a video how to build a greener pastures. You don't start greener pastures from greener pastures. You start greener pastures from your backyard. Before you go to Sokoto, confirm your Sokoto. Amen. Question number 5. Mhm.
How can I reduce costs without reducing value?
That's what makes you an entrepreneur. Amen. The day you answer that question is the day you understand your business. If you can't answer that question, you are not an entrepreneur. You are just you are not even a trader. You are an opportunistic flipper. Flippers are people that flip things, that take charge of opportunity. You go to eBay, you notice that they are selling a particular laptop cheaper in eBay than Amazon. You carry that laptop from eBay, paste it on Amazon, someone buys, you flip it and collect your difference. Real traders have what they call trade secrets. Real entrepreneurs have what they call marginal advantage. Until you find, if this water is sold for 10 naira and you've now found how to produce it for 5 naira, you can't start the water business. The man selling it for 10 naira probably produces it for 3 naira, and that's his trade secret. So, Ame, that's why I did 3 years of apprenticeship in real estate so that I understand where these secrets are before I start. So, all entrepreneurs, to get the trade secret on it, of any business you want to do, it's good you go for entrepreneurship and internship. How long your internship takes determines how soon you get the secret. If you can get the secret in 1 month and you are sure, fine. If you can't get the secret in 1 year, keep learning. And the easiest way to get the secret is to impress the owner of the business so well that he will want to reveal the secret to you. Question number 6.
Grace of money.
Mm-hmm.
Grace of money.
Grace or funny, yeah?
How can one handle working in a toxic environment with draining colleagues despite having a good boss?
Grace. He who pays the piper determines the tune of the music. The last topic we did about emotional intelligence money. Please watch that video again, Grace or Funny. It is emotional intelligence that makes you know how to respond. Do you know the whole of civilization has been called the emotionally matured way of responding to life? If something happens, we start shouting, "Ewo, ewo, ewo." We are not matured. But if something happens, we start saying, "No, calm down. It's under control. Okay, don't worry." We are civilized. So you must be civilized enough to build walls around your colleague and impress your boss enough to promote you above your colleague. If me and you are colleague and I have a nice boss and I want to deal with you, I'll find ways to impress the boss so much that he will promote me above you and make me your boss so that I can fire you or give you query if you misbehave. And each time that colleague is toxic, you turn it to hunger. Remember in that video I said turning your anger to hunger. One of the greatest emotional intelligence money. So each time the colleague is toxic, turn it to the hunger to impress the boss, to promote you above your colleague, or to be bigger than that whole work and go start your own business. Then all of you write this down. Grace, working at a job you do not like without saving money for the job you like or business you like is not making ends meet. Is making ends split. Many of you work at a job you don't like and you say you are just trying to make ends meet. The ends can only meet when you are saving for the one you like. When I was working with Lifestyle Hub in Abuja, I was so humiliated at one point by the company that even a cleaner came to me and said, Wallahi, Oga, I can't take what you are taking. The cleaner is from Jos. I grew up in Jos. She saw the humiliation. She said, even her. And she's close to me because I resume work very early. So I'm always there either before the cleaner or the same time with the cleaner. So she saw the embarrassment and said she can't take it. And I laughed. I told her, do you know why I can't take it? She said, no. I said, I'm using this place to prepare for my own company and somewhere better. And tomorrow where I'm enjoying, this company will not be there. And that's what happened. So working at a job you don't like without saving money for the job you like is not making ends meet. It's making ends split. So the more they annoy you, the more you save, and the more you work hard for promotion. Question number 7. Mm-hmm.
As a small business owner that is trying to grow up with a small capital,
Mm-hmm.
and an unexpected affliction came upon our mother,
Mm-hmm.
and the only option for her is to use her capital to treat her mother.
Mm.
Which advice would you give?
The-
Is it good for her to use her capital and proceed to treat her mother?
Okay, a very good question. We did a business, a video. Who asked that question? Favor, Abi? Favor, go to our videos. You watch a video called How to Protect Your Future. And then there is a, let me look for that. I hope I've not deleted that poster of the year. When we started the year, I showed us a poster where people are trying to start a race. And one guy, catapult, was taking him back. He was in a catapult going backwards while everybody was on the race. It was as if he was going backwards, but it was a string of the catapult. I wish I can get that meme. I'll look. I want to make that meme. I wish I could make it my screensaver, but because money is already my screensaver, that poster is my meme of the year. Let me see if Google can show me that poster so I can show you guys how to grow a small business. And if anything kills that, that is the end. The question, Favor, you must always answer whether your mom or anybody is. When you didn't have a business and your mom was ill, what would have happened? When you didn't have a business and your mom was seriously ill, what would have happened? That's the question. I used to be that person. I used to believe that I could save the world. I used to think that if anything is wrong, it's my job to fix it. If I don't bring the money, the person will die. Until I can't find that meme, but I'll look for it. The others were going forward, him he was going back, but it was catapult. In business, if you can't contract, you can't expand. Write it down. In life, generally, if you can't contract, you can't expand. To survive the vicissitudes of life, the question you ask yourself is, for instance, you have a small business, you started with 100,000, your mom is sick, and they say they need 100,000, and you want to go and use your capital, sell, close the business, and pay the 100,000. Before you do that, you ask yourself, if you didn't have the business, what would you have done? If you can find that answer, then that's the right response. That's what the Stephen Covey calls the window between stimulus and response. He said, before you respond, pause and think. If you didn't have that business, what would you have done? I used to be like that Superman that, in fact, I lost a lot of capital for people's problem. I had a ignoramus belief that for God to make that problem to come to me, or for someone to tell me a problem, God wants me to help them with my capital. So God kept on trying to teach me. I didn't learn until I was in prison for owing. God now asked me a simple question. All those people that used to say, if you don't bring money, we will die. Have they died? I said, no. Have they come to the prison to say, please release this man, if not, our sick mother will die? I said, no. He said, if this was death and you died because of these people, they'll forget you and move on. Don't kill yourself for anybody. If me, God, that is the omnipotent that can do all things, does not remove everybody's problem, it is not my calling to remove everybody's problem. As a matter of fact, one of the greatest things I tell my pastor, before you help, ask if God wants you to help. So please, ask that question, and then the only way to expand in business is to contract. If you are making 100,000 in your business, you must contract your life to surviving on 50,000 and saving 50,000 for you to be able to increase that business from 100,000 to 200,000. If you are not contracting, you can't expand. I finished working with Lifestyle Hub. I had made a lot of sales, a lot of money, but I contracted by not buying a car. The Prado you guys see me driving, I've been using since 2001, and I won it as a prize from Lifestyle Hub. I didn't buy a car. I wish this camera could go to my parlor. I've lived in this house for 3 years. I don't have furniture in my parlor, a whole mayor of housing. Not because the furniture money will help my business, but I said until I finish the settlements and the payments for Alessa and we start work, I will not furnish my house, so that thing will always remind me to pursue the partners and the deals that will make Alessa work. So you must contract to expand. All the money I was getting from Lifestyle Hub, I wasn't buying cars. I was buying lands. That's how I got Alessa Island. That's how I have land in a wet housing. That's how I have land in Calabar. I was already buying and preparing for. I was supposed to buy a land in Yenegua before the company had problem and money stopped coming. So please, don't allow your trying to be God to kill your business. In fact, there's a man that put it so well that the Holy Spirit reminded me in prison. His name is, what's this Daystar pastor? The Daystar pastor. He said, if you are trying to be El Shaddai, you end up being I shall die. That's what the Holy Spirit told me. If you are trying to solve everybody's problem, you end up dying. So when I came out from prison, guess what? The people I'm owing in prison, that I went to prison, I'm not finished paying them. And I've had their money. But I use their money to finish paying Alessa. When I finish paying Alessa, I'll now pay them, because for them to take me to prison, they don't want the money. They want to punish me. So Alessa people, for them to give me land, they want to help me. So I'll pay those that want to help me first before I pay those that want to punish me. So ask yourself, are you the person that will save your mother? And if you didn't have that business, what would you have done? That's the answer. Question number 8. Mm-hmm.
For those who might have used their words to destroy their lives in one way or the
They are
other,
what?
their words,
Words.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to destroy their lives
Mm-hmm.
in one way or the other.
Mm.
What is the way out?
The way out, rewrite your life. Nazika Jack, rewrite your life. I had used my words. I talk anyhow. I talk stupidly. This book you are seeing is more than 100 pages. All this is my life I rewrote, is my affirmations book. Let me read a few of them. I'm highly motivated, daily, and unstoppable. Nothing can stop me because nothing can stop Jesus Christ in Acts chapter 5, verse 39. I'm the Joshua of our time. I'm financially disciplined and free because Christ has paid all my creditor with that extra 20% according to Leviticus 6:5, and I have made all of them to love and envy me. I am faithful, sincere, and honest. I'm the most sought after businessman in Nigeria. I'm the best recruiter in the history of social funding. I'm attracted only to my wife, and she only would I be turned on to us sexually, even in my dreams. Every other attraction is an illusion. I'm attracted in people. I love people enough to want their positive change. I'm the best teacher and trainer in business. I'm hilariously funny. I'm a renowned speaker, motivational icon, and MC. I'm a financial genius, able to always find the best rewarding solutions out of every tough problem. I'm a Christian. I'm a generous philanthropist. I'm blessed above all in Deuteronomy 7:14, empowered to prosper, and a shining example of God blessing that maketh rich and addeth no sorrow in Proverbs 10:22. I'm more than a conqueror in Romans 8:37. I'm world class. I'm making enormous growths and contributions daily. I'm organized. I'm talented. I'm resourceful. I create multiple streams of passive income. I'm good at delegating responsibilities and can attract, hire, and retain the best hands, brains, and attitude better than Sir Richard Branson. I rewrote my life. And see, Jack, waiting mouth, scatter, mouth, go arrange, and to guide your mouth, write it down. What is written is stronger than what was destroyed. Question number 9. Mama, yeah?
If you are being realistic, do you believe honesty alone can truly build a brand? Because the business sector is filled with competitiveness and everyone just wants to sell.
The more people are dishonest, the more honesty becomes premium. Who asked that question? Oma. The more good people are scarce, the more good people become valuable. The more fuel is scarce now. If Dangote just shut down now, this fuel they buy 1,000 a liter will go up to 10,000 a liter. The more people are misbehaving, the more behavior and character becomes valuable. The more virtues are scarce, the more virtues become valuable. Everybody is trying to sell. Only Oma is honest. Everybody is trying to push people to buying what they don't want. Only Oma will tell you, let me find out if you really want this. What's your problem? And only Oma is sincere. Initially, it will seem as if Oma is foolish. But with time, people will now know how Oma behaves and start looking for Oma. That's what is building my brand. Many real estate people lie. I was recently in a meeting and with our bankers, and I told them the truth. And one of my partners came out and said, why did you tell them the truth? What if they decide not to do? I say, it's better I tell them the truth now. Or when the money comes and they notice, they will now say I'm not being honest. They can go with their money and let me maintain my truth than to get their money and lose my truth. So that is what makes my brand very premium. I don't lie, I don't pretend. On this live show, you people have seen my waist and almost seen my bum bum before. And you people have seen that I wear short knicker with suit and tie. So what are we pretending about? So if people know you are genuine, that's the brand. People are looking for honesty. So those ancient, timeless truths and virtues that people are looking for. Initially, you look like you don't know what you are doing, but later on, and them go to rush you. The final question number 10.
Henry,
Mm-hmm.
what makes what mistake have you seen God make that led to their decline, and how can others avoid them?
The greatest mistakes brands make is the make irrelevant numbers, making the numbers irrelevant. The greatest power in business and the greatest number in business, write this down, is numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. You have especially, I see that a lot in our social media space. You have built a following of 6 million followers. You believe that even if you insult your followers, people will still follow you. You start behaving anyhow. And you lose 100,000 followers. Say, what is 100,000? After all, I have 6 million. They will start going one by one. Then don't they go one by one. You understand this thing when Man U is playing Liverpool and Liverpool is winning Man U in Old Trafford 4-0. By 76 minutes, you'll see our fans, don't they go one by one. Then don't they go one by one. When your customers are so loyal, you start saying, I beg, that customer can go. Well, after all, I have other customers. No, only I'm them born. And the brand starts declining. You stop doing the things you did that built the brand. If what you were doing to build the brand was good, what you do to maintain the brand must be better. So I see that a lot. You go to a restaurant when the woman is passionate, she has not made money. The food, everything is okay. When they've made money, you go there. To tell your guy, if you are not telling me your order, I have other people to attend to, I'm busy. Yeah? You stand up to go, they'll say, see this one, go now. But a business that understands a brand will rush and come and meet you and say, we are so sorry, we'll even give you free food for today. So many brands become complacent with the very things they did to build their brand. And a tank of water that one drop falls is still a full tank of water. But if one drop is dropping every day, in the next 5 years, that tank will be empty. That's the greatest mistake that brands make. Insignificant number of attrition that they take for granted that atrophies the business. Atrophy is negative growth. Attrition is people leaving. So when small people, they go, they say, no matter, no matter. One day you see, say, nobody, they come again. Brand don't die. For our question, we've taken more than 17 minutes above our time. Our question for the day, that was the last question, Abby. Our question for the day, those that get it will make 30,000, and we're not giving for topics, so there are only 10 people that will make 30,000. And the question is this: when I was presenting, I talked about the highest level of sales and business maturity, and I called it 2 words. What is it? The highest level of sales and business maturity, I called it 2 words. What is it? 2 words. The highest level of sales and business maturity, I called it 2 words. What is it? The first 10 people that can get the answer, just 2 words. The highest level of sales and business. I've gotten the first answer. Let me screenshot. I've gotten the second answer. Let me screenshot. I hope that this thing will slow down today to allow me get all the answer. I've gotten the third answers. Let me screenshot. I've gotten the fourth answer. Let me screenshot. So my wife, if you are watching, the first person to get the correct answer is Moshood Kayode also. And the answer is Guild Equity. So from Moshood Kayode, the first 10 people that got Guild Equity, you've won 30,000. Eh? Oh, she's not there. Oh, wait, let me. If she's not there, guild equity. I think I. Now be say the thing don't. I feel don't miss the 10 people though. Guild equity Chidozie Ume. Let me. I thought that she's there. Guild equity. Let me count the people. We will need to get somebody that will be counting. Don't worry, when we are recruiting next year, this whole experience will be better. We will not only get people that will be selecting this, we even have software. That's why I'm talking about AI. The first person that got it is Adeboyaga Emmanuel got it. Number one. Moshood Kayode, number two. Oh boy, they're right, too. Number two, Moshood Kayode again, so it's still number two. Adeboyaga Emmanuel again, still number two. I screenshot. Nsikak Jack, number three. Nsikak Jack, number three. Nenye Pat, number four. Nenye Pat, number four. Nonso Julie, number five. Chidozie Chibo, number six. Nenye Pat again. So number six, Chibozie Chibo. Chidozie Ume, number seven, Chidozie Ume. Guild equity. Chidebere Chibu, okay, I already called that. That's number six. Nenya Pat, I've already called that. That's number six. I only got 6 names, so I'm going to ask another question. Please, because we didn't have somebody monitoring that, I'm going to ask another question. The first 4 answers. So those names I called, follow the video and get me the names. Nicholas, watch the video and watch this part. We have 6 names. To get the 4 more people, this question is for 4 people. There's a woman that gave a quote that I quoted during this presentation. That her quote, I said, is the most important quote in, let me be sure I am live, is the most important quote in branding. The woman's name is 2 names. If you can name the name of the woman, the first 4 people to remember the woman, just her name, don't forget about the quote. I've gotten the first name. No, please, if you have been called before, you have answered before, don't answer this one again. I've gotten the 4 people. So the correct people is Chinonso Ume. I think you've answered before. Her name is Maya Angelo, Halimat Lawal, Maya Angelo, Jack NGTV, number 2, Maya Angelo, Live of Favor, number 3, and Rich Vault, number 4. 4 of you have gotten the answer, Maya Angelo. So these 4 people, I think Chinonso Ume has gotten before. So Halimat Lawal, Jack NGTV, Live of Favor, and Rich Vault. 4 of you are the 4 people. Nicholas, listen to this video later and get us the list. Reputation is so important that is the only thing stronger than perception. But because we live in an age where perception has become stronger than reality initially, but it can only be sustainably sustained by reality sustainably. And that sustained perception is called reputation. A lot of people try to build a false reputation, false facade of reputation. In a social media age where you can go for photo shoot, Photoshop, and you create a front that is different from the substance, authenticity becomes very scarce. Originality becomes very scarce. Congruence becomes very scarce. And then we find ourselves losing ourselves in the so many masks and images we've created. that we don't even know which one is us. And happiness is the only essence of life. And not only is happiness the only essence of life, happiness is also the only essence of branding. Branding is the amount of feelings of happiness that your business identity, your business logo, your business name, and all that has to do with your business mention translates to people when they hear your business. And it's only a happy person that can give happiness. And one of the best definitions of happiness is by a 21st century sage called Mahatma Gandhi. He said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are the same. And reputation is the same. Reputation is like the ancient wisdom of ancient philosophers that says, two men, when it is built on falsehood, it is built on sand. When it is built on truth and authenticity, it is built on the rock. It is only when your reputation outside, your reputation with yourself, and your reputation inside with your soul and spirit are the same, will you be happy. When what people say you are, what you truly you say are, and what your spirit and your conscience witnesses that you are different, you lack reputation, even though the world might be celebrating you and shouting your name every day. I'm wary of fame without foundation. And we see a lot of people with fame without foundation. But the ancient philosophy and one of the greatest books, the Bible says, when you build on sand and the storm and the wind and the rain come, it will fall. And how great is that fall? And it's becoming a recurring decimal that will see people that will build a very high persona and reputation online to be superstars and heroes. And one day when the reality of who they are dawns, all that will fizzle away and great will be the fall. Sometimes they try to mend that reputation with refutal, with lawyers trying to save their face with a lot of things. But reality is reality. And the greatest reality is what you are. So don't just build a brand that appears to be excellent. Build a brand that is excellent because you are excellent. Because excellence is not a brand. Excellence is a being, is an identity, is who you are. And it's only when you are excellent and you are happy, according to Mahatma Gandhi, can you give happiness. And when more brands embrace this congruence of the authenticity of when what you think, what you say, and what you do are the same, what you promise, what you deliver, and what you follow up with are the same. What you promise, what you develop, and what you deliver are all the same. Then will you create a happy brand? And happy brands spread happiness. And the more we are happy in the world, the more the world will become a better place. And people reward and pay more for happiness than any other product or brand in the world. So dare to be happy, dare to be yourself, dare to build a happy brand, and dare to spread happiness. And how wonderful it will be if you can dominate the marketplace with happiness. Brands are not in scarcity. Products are not in scarcity. Evolution is not in scarcity. Innovation is not in scarcity. Technology is not in scarcity. Intelligence is not in scarcity. Goodness and happiness are in scarcity. Whatever you build, make sure they deliver goodness and happiness to others by, first of all, making yourself an embodiment of that goodness and happiness and sharing it through your brand. And if you can dare to build that, don't die with your goodness and happiness. Spread it through your brand. And if you won't, the mayor of housing will. Thank you.
no be baggage. A politician short pass, no be manage. Make we sign deal, no be just courage. If you want buy, we go guide you. The fall for scam, we dey beside you. The mayor of housing, now we dey here. We go make sure, say you go check. Invest today, don't look tomorrow. The future dey bright, no need to borrow. If you want, we make you follow. The mayor of housing, now we be follow, come. We don't sell house, we dey sell value.